I am ranked number one. One! That means I'm the best.
Floyd Mayweather was too clever to give us fights like this. Shortens your career. These kind of fights shorten your career, bro. That's what it does. You know, Steve looked good. He looked big in the first round. Good body shots. Hard to score. Glowacki, clever counterpuncher. You know, draws your leads. He's got a massive left hand. In the second, Cunningham was countered by a left, and he was down twice. It was 10-7 round. Glowacki threw him down like a ragdoll. Exceptional strength. Steve came back with combination punching. Glowacki still dangerous with them single lefts. Good movement, faster hands. He probably won the third. Steve came back surprisingly aggressive in the fourth, risking himself in the exchanges. Steve was swollen up around the eye for a head clash. The fifth and the sixth, hard to score. Could be shared. Glowacki probably getting the better of both of them combined. Cunningham, work rate, you know, it was something to behold in the seventh, man. Just coming back all the time, even though he was the lighter puncher. The eighth was close, hard to pull them apart. Ninth, Glowacki, deceptively good counter puncher, but Steve works the body and head aggressively, and Glowacki gets penalized for rabbit punches. I don't know if a point was taken. A short right hand drops Steve, I believe in the 10th. Steve comes back hard though and lands a great right of his own and hurts Glowacki. I only gave it a 10-9 to Glowacki despite the knockdown because Steve came back so hard. In the 11th, Steve was forcing such a pace. Glowacki was looking like he might buckle. It's a scrap. This is a scrap. And in the 12th, Steve really went for it, man. Steve really went for it. Glowacki didn't look like he had much left in the tank, but there was still a lot of power there. Steve was going for a knockout as he had to, you know. Like, he was on the floor 3 times, you know. Could be 3 10-8s, depending on how you're scoring it. And he was going for it. Then he got countered by a massive shot as he pressed Glowacki towards the rope. One single shot cancelled out all that volume Steve was throwing, and that was the problem Steve was faced for the evening.
Everyone's a fan with Applebee's,
and he still kept coming forward and going for it until the bell. You know, he set the evening off at the Barclays Center, man. They both set the evening off. Glowacki, you know, good fighter, good, honest action fighter. Steve Cunningham, I didn't think it was going to be a good idea him coming back down to cruiser. He was having stamina problems and problems absorbing punches in his last few fights at cruiser. The Hernandez fight is what comes to mind, and I never thought it was a great idea him coming back to cruiser, but his stamina looked good, man. Nassim Richardson got him into good shape. Nassim was saying there's no point Steve hitting this guy in the head. He ain't going nowhere. He needs to work him underneath. That's what Nassim said. But, you know, Steve did work him underneath. He hit him to the head. The punch power gap is what done Steve in. You know, this is what I'm talking about. I'm expecting something similar when Errol Spence fights Chris Algieri, because Errol Spence can bang. Chris Algieri can't. I'm expecting the power gap to cost Algieri in this fight, just like it's cost Steve Cunningham. But this is Glowacki's first defense of his WBO Cruiserweight Championship. And you have to say, man, it was value for money, it was entertaining, he showed good punching power. He is beatable, he is definitely beatable. If you can use that jab more and work that body more, that southpaw stance can be defeated. But he is going to be value for money while he does carry the belt. It was value for money in the Marco Huck fight, who he won the belt from. Steve Cunningham, another hard battle in the tank for Steve Cunningham, and he's had so many. And
Take a break from the expected.
some of them were debatable decisions. This wasn't. The knockdowns just swung it towards Glowacki, swung it in Glowacki's favor. No doubt about that at all. But so many hard battles for Steve. Not getting no younger. I doubt he'll stop. I think Steve will come back. He had his wife there, his kids, and they're supporting their daughter who's gone through a lot of medical treatment. I believe she has a rare disease. You know, I'm not gonna try and guess what it was. But it's a hard story to hear because they're obviously good parents dedicated to their children. It's hard to hear them stories. It is hard. It's tough. Even for fucking old mercenaries like me, it's hard to hear. I thoroughly enjoyed the fight. That's all I can say. I thoroughly enjoyed the fight. The right man won. Great left hand counter puncher and right hand counter puncher. You know, he doesn't look clever, but he is actually good at rolling and leaning back and then striking you with that counter punch and drawing your leads. He's deceptively good at it. He doesn't have the fastest feet, but Steve is a very good boxer, very athletic, very fit. But Glowacki was too accurate with the counter punches. Steve probably threw more punches throughout the fight, but Glowacki was very accurate, very powerful. And that's what counts, precision at the end of the day. And if you haven't seen it, you missed a very good scrap. That's all I can say. Peace.